Brand new poll shaking up the 2016 Republican field, but it's not who you'd expect. Political outsiders way outside now taking the spotlight. In this Suffolk University poll of likely Iowa caucus voters, Donald Trump still leads. But since the big GOP debate, retired neurosurgeon Ben Carson and former HP CEO Carl Fiorina now surging into the top 5. None of them has ever held public office, but they're gaining huge momentum.
So far, I'm enjoying politics, and I guess I'm enjoying because, I mean, the poll just came in where I'm 32.
You had 5 good polls post-debate.
Yeah, no, I'm doing well.
They're not going to hear just political speak from me. And they know that.
I'm not a professional politician and I'm not a celebrity. And so I still have a lot of introducing of myself to voters.
The American dream is dead, but I'm going to make it bigger and better and stronger than ever before, okay?
The only one to take out half of a brain, although you would think if you go to Washington that someone had beat me to it. But
you are going to love President Trump.
The truth is this race has just gotten started and game on.
And now it's your turn to vote on Twitter. Who will win the White House? Just tweet outsider or politician using hashtag Greta, and you'll see your votes live on TV. Karl Rove joins us. Good evening, Karl.
Evening, Greta.
Karl, what do you make of the fact that these outsiders, non-politicians, you've got Carl Fiorina, Ben Carson, and Donald Trump, they seem to be grabbing the attention of GOP voters?
Yeah, well, look, first of all, they're doing it in their own individual ways. Each one of them in their own individual way had a terrific debate performance. In fact, of the 3, the person who dominated the night was Carl Fiorina, who is not on the main stage. She was in the so-called kiddie debate beforehand, but she was the big buzz of the evening. She did so well. And look, each one of them is different. They share one thing in common. They've never held elective office before, but each one is coming at this from a different angle, and they certainly, in some instances, are competitors. I mean, Carl Fiorina's first comment in the debate that got people's attention was her jab at Donald Trump's relationship with Bill and Hillary Clinton. So it's also interesting to watch and see how each one of them is approaching the early primary states. Ben Carson has 99 county chairmen in Iowa. Carl Fiorina has been there a number of times and is going back in a very grassroots way. And Trump is going to show up this weekend at the Iowa State Fair, but has not been in the state in as aggressively either in person or in the form of an organization as the other 2 have.
All right, well, we're looking live actually in Iowa, and that is candidate for president Carl Fiorina, and she is addressing her followers. Listen to this.
Now will destroy livelihoods. They will increase the cost of energy. They will destroy industries. And that, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is their goal. The EPA doesn't like coal. Their goal is to kill that industry. The EPA thinks, I lived, as I mentioned, for many years in the state of California, the EPA state that thinks that...
Karl, you know, we're so focused on the numbers now, and they are rather, they're fascinating. But what do you think is going to be the long-term role of money in this race? Are we going to see that that's going to change everything, or could?
Well, it'll have an impact. I think more fundamental than money is going to be message. Because, look, at the end of the day, what's happening now is there are a lot of people angry with how Washington is acting, and more importantly, angry at the direction of the country that they see under President Obama, and they want somebody to stand up and yell, stop. At some point, they're going to want to say, what's your optimistic view for the future? What is it that you're going to do? How are you going to go about doing it? And they're not going to be content with sound bites. Over the long haul of a campaign, you have to demonstrate to the American people you have the characteristics to be the president of the United States, and you have a vision that people can buy into. And that's going to be the key for any candidate. It's why, by and large, we've chosen governors when we have a chance to, because they're decision makers, but they're not insiders. And it's why we've generally chosen people who have got some familiarity with the political system, because they know, how to talk about the issues and what the issues are.
All right. And on the other side of the screen, you can't see this, Karl, but that is Dr. Ben Carson speaking live in New Hampshire, and talk about optimism. He always has an optimistic message. I don't know about how long he'll stay in the race or whether he'll be successful, but he's optimistic, Karl.
My entire professional career.
Absolutely. I know Ben Carson. He's a personal friend of mine, as I do know Carly Fiorina. Both of them are exceptional human beings, each in their own way. She has been the president of the largest tech company in the world. He has been a gifted neurosurgeon and the head of the department at Johns Hopkins. And you're right. His appeal is, when you hear Ben Carson talk about America and the promise of America, you know that he believes with every fiber of his being. And he comes across as a very empathetic and authentic individual, and it gets him a lot of credit. Having said that, they all face the same challenge, which is, how do you at the end of the day convince people that you have a vision that has a place for them, that it's a vision that can win, that it is about the important things the country wants to do, and you have sensible answers to get those things done.
All right, well, right now the poll says 85% believe an outsider, at least our Twitter poll, which of course not scientific, but the viewers, 85% think an outsider is going to win the White House over an insider or a politician. So those are the numbers. Karl, thank you for joining us.